The night shift had barely started when Nurse Malik Carter pushed open room 214 and froze. Lying in the hospital bed was the same white police officer who arrested his younger brother 2 years ago. Same blue eyes, same badge number, now broken, pale, and gasping for air. Malik's gloved hands tightened around the clipboard. In this room, the man who once took everything from him now depends on him to survive. Tonight, justice meets mercy. The hospital never really sleeps. It only hums. Machines breathing, lights flickering, footsteps echoing down polished floors. It's November 18th, 11:47 p.m., the start of Malik Carter's second shift. The coffee's gone cold, and the night already feels heavier than usual. He's done this routine for 7 years. Check charts, check vitals, breathe, repeat. But tonight, the air feels different, like the building itself is holding its breath. He flips through a clipboard, scanning the next patient's name, then freezes. Daniel Rourke, a name he knows too well. For a heartbeat, everything stops. The hum, the rhythm, even his pulse. The same name from the police report that changed his brother's life. He closes his eyes, exhales to the ache in his chest, and whispers to himself, "It's just another patient." But deep down, he already knows this night won't end like the others. 2 years ago, the world had been louder. Siren chants, camera flashes. Malik remembers that night like a scar you stop noticing until someone touches it. His younger brother, Devin, had been 21, college sophomore, loud laugh, big dreams. He'd march with a sign that said, "We can't breathe until we're seen." But the protest turned chaotic. Police lines advanced. Tear gas filled the air. And in the middle of the confusion, Devin was thrown against a car, handcuffed by Officer Daniel Rourke. Malik had watched from behind a barricade, powerless, shouting his brother's name as the rain smeared the lights into colors that didn't feel real. Devin's charges were dropped months later. No apology, no explanation. But something inside him broke. He stopped smiling the same way, stopped trusting the world. Malik never forgot that officer's face. He didn't think he ever would. Until tonight, when fate placed that same face under his care. Now, between the antiseptic smell and the flickering lights, the past has come back. Not with a siren, but with silence. When Malik finally steps into room 214, the air feels colder than the hallway outside. The man on the bed stirs, eyes fluttering open beneath the harsh fluorescent light. His face is pale, his leg pinned and wrapped, wires tracing across his chest like a confession he can't take back. For a moment, neither speaks. The only sound is the soft, steady pulse of the monitor. Malik clears his throat. His voice is calm, professional, practiced. "I'm your night nurse, Mr. Rourke. You had surgery earlier. You're stable now." Daniel nods weakly, but doesn't meet his eyes. His gaze drifts to the window, as if the darkness outside might offer an escape. Malik adjusts the 4-line, checking vitals with precision. Every movement mechanical, deliberate. But when his gloved hand brushes Daniel's wrist, a flicker of recognition passes between them. Daniel whispers, hoarse and unsure, "You were there, weren't you?" Malik doesn't answer. He just finishes the chart, sets it down, and walks out. The heart monitor keeps beeping, steady, relentless, unforgiving. The sound of the heart monitor fades into another rhythm, chanting, shouting, rain. We're back there now. 2 years ago, the city streets were alive with fire and hope. Umbrellas clattered in the downpour. Cardboard signs melted into the pavement. Malik remembers pushing through the crowd, calling for his brother. Devin's gray hoodie was soaked, his eyes wide but determined. Then chaos. A bottle breaks. A flare goes off. And through the smoke, Officer Daniel Rourke shouts, "Move back!" before grabbing Devin and forcing him to the ground. The look on Devin's face, fear, disbelief, burned itself into Malik's memory. He yelled, begged, reached through the crowd, but was shoved back by another officer. Red and blue lights flashed against wet asphalt, reflecting in Malik's tears. That night ended with Devin in a cell and Malik in a parking lot. Fists clenched around a phone that wouldn't stop ringing. Back in the hospital, the sound returns. Beep, beep, beep. The same rhythm. The same helplessness. Only now, Malik holds the power to heal. Hours crawl by like shadows. The hallway outside is silent now, empty to visitors and noise. Only the machines keep time. Malik moves through his tasks on instinct. Changing 4 bags, checking vitals, recording numbers he doesn't really see. It's what he's good at, staying composed, keeping the storm inside where no one can see it. But every few minutes, Daniel tries to speak. Small talk at first. Weather, pain, anything to fill the space. Malik answers with one-word replies, his tone clipped professional. But when Daniel finally says, "I know you hate me," something in the air shifts. Malik looks at him, really looks, and for a moment, all the faces of people he's treated flash through his mind. Daniel's hand trembles as he speaks again. "I saw your brother's eyes that night. I still do. Every time I close mine." The silence afterward feels heavy, sacred, like confession in a church without a priest. Malik doesn't respond. He simply adjusts the heart monitor, sets it steady, and whispers to himself more than anyone, "Just breathe, both of us." The calm breaks without warning. The heart monitor screams, an alarm Malik has heard 1,000 times, but never like this. Daniel's pulse flatlines into chaos. Malik's training takes over before his mind can catch up. He hits the code button, calling out for backup, his voice sharp and commanding. Within seconds, the room floods with light and motion. A crash cart rolls in. Gloves snap. Syringes click. Charged at 200. He presses the paddles to Daniel's chest. Once, twice. His face expressionless, his eyes locked on the monitor. The smell of ozone fills the air. For one terrifying moment, there's nothing. No sound. No movement. Then, beep. A single note of life. Then another. Daniel gasps, chest heaving, eyes wide and searching. Malik steps back, breath ragged, sweat dripping down his temple. For the first time that night, he feels something break loose inside. Not anger, not pity, something else. In that moment, the narration whispers, "I wasn't thinking about who he was, only that he was still here." The room is still again, but different now, softer somehow. Daniel lies there, pale and drained, his voice rough like sandpaper. He stares at the ceiling for a long time before speaking. "I wanted to find him," he says quietly. "Your brother. I looked him up after the case was dropped, but I couldn't face him. I told myself it wouldn't change anything." Malik doesn't move. He just listens, arms crossed, eyes unreadable. Daniel's words tremble. "That night, I thought I was doing my job, keeping order. But the truth? I was scared. Scared of losing control. Scared of what I didn't understand." The silence afterward feels like oxygen, painful, necessary. Malik's voice is low. He's alive. Works construction now. Still angry but alive. Daniel nods slowly, tears pooling. "I never wanted to hurt anyone." Malik exhales, his tone almost a whisper. "Then don't waste it. Do better than sorry." Narration fades softer. Sometimes forgiveness isn't a gift you give. It's a chain you decide to drop, so you can finally move forward. By morning, the world feels gentler. The sun sneaks through the blinds, brushing pale gold across the room. The storm outside has passed, but the one inside Malik feels like it's finally settling too. He signs Daniel's chart with steady hands. Vital stable. Patient recovering. Just words, but this time they mean something. He turns to leave when Daniel stirs, his voice barely a whisper. "Thank you for treating me like I mattered." Malik pauses at the door. He doesn't look back right away. Then quietly, everyone does. For a moment, there's peace, fragile but real. Narration softens. Forgiveness isn't weakness. It's remembering the hurt and choosing not to pass it on. As Malik walks down the long hospital corridor, the camera lingers on his ID badge. Malik Carter, RN. A man who healed more than one heart that night. 2 weeks later, Malik is back on another night shift. Different patients, same routine, until a small envelope appears on his station desk. No return address. Inside is a single folded note and a printed receipt. A donation, $20,000, made to a community scholarship fund under the name Devin Carter. At the bottom of the note, just 2 letters. Dr. Malik stares at it for a long moment, then smiles, not out of joy, but release. Narration softens. Hate doesn't disappear. It transforms when one person decides to build instead of break. He folds the letter, places it gently in his pocket, and goes back to work. Racism doesn't always wear a badge or slur. Sometimes it hides in hesitation, in fear, in silence, in the space between 2 people who stop seeing each other as human. But that night, in room 214, something shifted. A wound didn't close, but began to heal. Forgiveness didn't rewrite history. It rewrote what came next. Malik Carter didn't just save a life that night. He reclaimed his own peace, one heartbeat at a time. As the hospital lights fade and the city hums awake, the narration ends softly. Maybe healing isn't about forgetting what broke us, but remembering that we can still choose who we become after. Fade to black. Heartbeat. Silence.